Well, hi everyone. I'm Dalia Caleb, Lead Faculty of Developmental Education at Tulsa College, Kingwood.
And I am Shante Grantham. I am the advisor at Lone Star College.
And our presentation, Strategies for Student Success, we want to emphasize one thing. Yes, we're talking about inside and outside the classroom, but we are going to share with you not the best practices like what the other session that we've attended where we asked each other about the best practices. We're going to share some of the most effective practices that we've tried at Kingwood in the fall. We're still using them this semester, and some of the new ones that we are using this semester with our Corequisite students. So our new reality. We all know this, House Bill 223 is a law, Corequisite courses are mandatory, students are underprepared and overwhelmed, and we are on a mission to find what's best for our students' success. At Kingwood, our courses are taught by two separate instructors, except for a couple of courses that are taught by the same instructor, English 1301, 0119, and 0219. Because of our format, we've been holding monthly training and meetings between 1301 instructors, DS instructors who teach the Corex, our dean, chair of English, PRK, the advisor. We meet religiously every month. We train each other. We share practices, what worked, what didn't work. We talk about our students. We give each other updates. We had in the fall our adjuncts presented because 1301 instructors told us we don't know how to teach the DS students. So we shared what we know with our 1301 colleagues. We had a couple of sessions on this, and they went really well. We're a big team, a big group that's working together to ensure that our students are getting where they want to be, they're succeeding and completing the courses. Our courses are face-to-face, online, and hybrid. And through a grant, we were able to hire Chianti, the embedded advisor, for our Corequisite students. I should be talking about that in more details after I'm done. So, this is Kingwood's Corex courses. And you see this Venn diagram shows that 1301, DS Corex, the advisor, and the students, and everything is overlapping because we all communicate and we all collaborate. Teachers are collaborating with each other, 1301 and Corex. They're talking to the advisor is talking to them as well, and there's the students. Each instructor talks to her students. The students are talking to their 1301 faculty. We tell them in the Corex courses, if you talk to us about 1301, if you have any concerns, we're not tutors, we do not help you with the assignments, but we will help you with other questions about 1301, and we guide you on what to do. And then we have the students talking to Chianti. The underlying, most important thing of all of this, student success. So inside the classroom, we utilize the D2L classroom heavily. We've talked at our roundtable discussion why we want more time in our classes. And I want to say the reason why we want more time, our students told us that. When I talk about the surveys, I'll share that with you. But we use D2L heavily, assignments, discussion boards, even for the online, for the face-to-face classes, quizzes, a launchpad, we have it there as well. We don't have enough time in the 0119 classroom, as we all know who are teaching 0119, to do completely what we want to do. Launchpad is the online component of our current book, Easy Writer. It's a Macmillan book. And what we like about it, it has exercises, pre-test, learning curve, which is an adaptable exercise, and a post-test. But what we also like about Launchpad, when the students come to us and we ask about 1301, they will tell us, well, I need more help with research. I need more help with annotated bibliography. We go to Launchpad, we pull that information from Launchpad, we create a separate module in D2L as extra resources for the students. Parallel structure is another. So this is why we've been using it a lot. And what we noticed last semester, students who do access the resources from Launchpad, who do the exercises, did better in the class than others. Our seminars, these are not new for Kingwood. We've been offering the seminars since spring 2015. But this semester, we piloted something that we offered as a new thing. We made them mandatory for our 0119 and 0219 students. The online classes, it wasn't a problem because we have videos for the seminars that we did when Harvey hit. We had to create videos within 2 weeks. So we're using these videos, we have handouts, we have quizzes. For the face-to-face classes, and again, it's a pilot this semester, students are attending, the seminars are offered Monday through Friday. At convenient times, we survey our students. We told them in the Corequisite classes, when are you available to be on campus? And we built the schedule, we modified it according to their availability. Yet for some students, it became a little difficult for some of them to make the time to attend the seminars. So now what we're thinking right now, and when I say we, our group here, we meet we meet a lot, and we talk that we may offer them fully online for 0119 and 0219 students in the face-to-face classes in the fall. Surveys. Last semester we did survey our students. We asked them, what do you want in your 0119 class or 219? What do you want from your 1301 instructors and from us as well? How can we improve this? Two things came on top. For 1301, they said, I need more help on research. For us, they said, we need more time. These were the two things that were most common among all of our students. And that's why now we're talking about maybe we will have more time. And we're going to do this again this semester, the survey, because this is how we improve. We want to hear the real voices, and these are the voices of our students. Now, the other thing that I'm going to talk about is the flipped classroom, and I have sort of, because I'm not doing it exactly like how we're supposed to do the flipped classroom. I'm not recording videos, we just returned to campus, and we didn't even return the first week, or it was 2 weeks into the semester when we were able to get into our offices. But in the fall, I'm going to start recording videos, posting them, and so on. What I'm doing this semester, and you see that the top is the most important, student-centered learning. So prior to class, I assign the chapters, I have the notes available, I have Launchpad resources available. I ask the students to read the material. Now at the beginning of the semester, it was a challenge because we're not kidding ourselves, not all students read what you tell them to read. But then as they started discovering that I have to read, because that classroom, when I go to class, I'm going to be responsible for the teaching and learning. All of us together as a group, they're more reading and getting prepared to class. So they come to class. When they come to class, we do two things. Either in-class writing, I immediately ask them to write either a paragraph or sentences, anything depending on the lesson. And then from that writing, for example, I'll give you a specific example, the Raman lesson. They read the material, they came to class. When they came to class, that was at the beginning of the semester, they expected a lecture. I'm not heavy on lectures. I have them. So when they came into class, I gave them a topic to write about. They wrote a short paragraph. Then each student had to revise each sentence in that paragraph, had to look at it. We've done sentences before, what's a complete sentence, what's an incomplete sentence, so they know that. And I went around. During the whole time, I went around and looked at each student and the sentences and so on. We pulled some Ramans and comma splices. The students who had them, they wrote them on the board. So we wrote them on the board, the whole group, with me guiding them. We decided where is the first sentence, where does it end, where does the second sentence start. We looked at in between them. And this is how the lesson proceeded. So we did two things. We identified together, the student did, what they told me. What is a run-on on the board word by word? What is a comma splice? So we identify what's a run-on, what's a comma splice. Then, based on their reading and the Launchpad resources, so how do we correct this? So they started and they looked. I said, look at your notes. They did, and one by one, eventually, we were able to write these, how do we correct a run-on on the board. After we did all of that, it was co-education, they discovered the rules on their own. Before the end of the class, I put them PowerPoint or notes on the projector, and we went through it. And I heard aha moment, this is what we wrote right there. So I didn't have just to tell them, oh, this is how we do run-ons, this is how we correct run-ons. They discovered it on their own. What I'm noticing this semester, because this is what I'm using this semester. Last semester it was mini lessons, hands-on, as much as I can. I'm finding that the students are enjoying this more. I have 3 interpreters who come to my class, and they tell me, we walk in, we walk out, we don't know how fast this class goes. The students are busy every minute of the class, and I am enjoying it as well. So this is my sort of flipped classroom this semester. I use big post-it notes for the apostrophes, I did that as well. They taught the lesson to each other. Crossover directions, last semester when we started doing the Corequisite classes, the first thing that we heard from 1301 instructors, they don't understand directions. They don't read directions. So what I did, I invited Darlene, Jim, and Keontae to my classroom. I wrote one assignment, essay assignment from my 0309 class. Darlene wrote an assignment of an essay from 1301. We put the first one on the projector. We asked the students to read it. And what do you understand? What is this assignment asking you to do? We went over it one step at a time. We modeled, and then we asked them also what do they understand. We did the same with the 1301 assignments. So we helped the students to see that you must read directions, and this is how you read them. This is what this is asking you to do. During our monthly training sessions, we told our 1301 instructors on what we've done. Actually, we sent an email before that. And they started doing the same thing, that model a little for the students, go through the directions with them. At the beginning, you need to put that extra effort, but then they will start to get it, and it helped a lot. Our classroom are very heavy on active learning. So this is this is the crossover directions, and there's our active learning. And I'm going to share a couple of examples. And this also I asked our adjuncts, our other faculty. So basically, because we collaborate a lot, we have a lot of common ideas and practices that we use. So for example, a short paragraph is assigned to the group. That paragraph will have some multiple choice questions, no more than 5 or 6, and then maybe 3 short answers. They come to class, they write a reflective paragraph on it. From that paragraph, grammar skills are being taught from their own writing and reading and writing skills. One of the activities that I use in my class, yes, we introduce topics, main ideas, and supporting details. I pull the first lines of novels and classical novels even, and some, well-known novels and so on, just the first line. And then I cut them into strips. I go to the class, I divide them into a group, and then I walk around and they have to pull and choose. They have a chance to, if they don't like that first line, they can choose another one. And then each group has to become, that line is the topic sentence of their paragraph. And they have to be as creative as possible in writing that paragraph. A well-structured paragraph, I look for thinking content as well, and a grammar-free paragraph. Then they're going to read it to the entire class. What happened last semester, this activity the students enjoyed a lot. And it wasn't only that, I call it the first line of a paragraph of a novel assignment. It wasn't only used to teach grammar and content and paragraph structure. There was an incident where we used it as a very important teachable moment. on bias, how we avoid bias when we write, how we avoid sexism when we write, how we avoid ethnocentrism when we write. Yes, I talk about ethnocentrism in my classes. It's a big word and they love it. And how to avoid prejudice when we write, how we have to pay attention to the words and the supporting details that we use, because otherwise we will be maybe insulting someone else. That's what was one of the best activities that they told me they liked. So this is something that we are heavy on. Now I'm going to switch to outside the classroom, but before Kianta starts, two things that we also work hard with and closely with, our writing lab and the workshop there. I know Kianta will be talking a lot. Some 1301 instructors are making it mandatory for the students to go to seek the help of tutors. At the end, after Kianta, we would like to open this for you also to share with us some of your effective practices. And what we are doing, as I mentioned, we are on a mission, and that mission has a central focus for our student success. We're all learning and learning together. Kianta.
Okay. All right, so again, I am Kianta Grantham. I am the English co-working advisor. So I want to just begin by saying we are not experts. These are just some of the things that we did last semester and things that we're planning to do in the upcoming semester. So as the English co-rec advisor, some of the things that I have determined that I want to do, or that we've determined to do, to make sure that our students don't have any stressors or any factors that are preventing them from being successful, are offering encouragement, resources, educational guidance, educational professional growth, and connections. Essentially what I want to do is I want to act as Google, the person that they can come to, the familiar face, if they have questions, if they need to vent, whatever the case may be, because a lot of our students have experienced defeat and a lot of external factors outside of the classroom that have prevented them from being successful students. So we want to make sure that when they come in, that they have the ability to do that. So we begin with encouragement. I like this quote by Oprah Winfrey because it essentially says it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, the ability to triumph begins with you. So our students come from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, just all types of differences, but then they've also, again, had some challenges. So we want them to say, it doesn't matter about any of that, you can still be successful. Some of the ways that I am able to offer this encouragement, or have offered, I should say, is by holding conferences. So I have an open door policy. My students can come and see me whenever they like, if they have questions, whatever the case may be. There was a particular instance when I had a student that came in and he needed someone to help him to navigate through D2L. So we sat down, pulled out the computer, and I said, well, what are your questions? So as it turned out, he didn't know how to email as an instructor, nor did he know how to find the content of where his actionable assignments were. So I showed him, this is where your content is, this is how you email your instructor. These are basic things that I think many of us may take for granted that our students know how to do, but in actuality, they might not. So I think what I've learned, what a lot of us have probably learned, is that we shouldn't make any assumptions about what our students know or don't know, because a lot of times they don't know those things. I contact them through the phone or email, I congratulate them, I offer support, encouragement, I ask them what's going on, and perhaps an instructor contacted me and said, this student hasn't been coming to class, they're not doing well, they're failing even. And you'd be so surprised when I call them how happy they are to hear from me, or how they're like, oh, did I do something wrong? Is something wrong? And I'm like, no, I just want to see how things are going, or Professor Beeman told me that you're doing really well, and that actually has proven to be very successful. I go into the beginning of the semester and I introduce myself. I want to put a face with the name, I want them to know who I am, I want them to know how to locate me again. If they have questions, if they have concerns, they need to know where to find me, they need to know who I am, so that's important. We have a student or students that have been successful. So we actually went into one of Dalia's classes with a success story, and he shared his experience with the student, which we thought was really great because we were able to tell him he was in your position last semester, and this is how he was able to be successful. what we learned through this particular student was that he used all the resources that we have available. The writing lab, coming to visit me, going to meet with his instructors, and utilizing just all of that information made him very successful. He's now in 1302, and he's doing very well. And then explaining instructions for assignments. This is, again, an example of someone coming to see me that needs help. I don't know how to read these instructions. I don't understand what the assignment is requiring me to do. So we hashed it out. We went line by line by line. Again, I'm trying to eliminate something that is posing as an issue for the students to be successful. Resources. This one is huge. I touched on it a little bit earlier. But a lot of our students come in, they're first-time college students. Aside from the fact that they may be first-time college students, Lone Star is a huge campus. So knowing how to navigate through all of these different services and places and entities that are available, you need to know. You need to have maybe someone to guide you, to give you some information. So these are some of the things that we have available, and I make sure that they know who the people are that they need to meet, where they are. I really could walk them to those particular departments if necessary, and I interact with most of these entities very regularly as well. Educational guidance. This one is key because I kind of call myself all things CoRec. So I'm the Google of CoRec. So in order for me to be able to do this, I have to have high visibility. So I'm going to assist with registration, and I'm introducing myself to the students. I'm asking questions that they may have. A lot of them don't even know what CoRec is. Why would they know? They've never been to college. So I'm telling them they're taking English 1301 Composition 1 with a CoRec class, so a support class that will help you through this class. And a lot of them have a lot of questions, so I'm able to address those questions when I go to registration. Pairing our 1301 and our CoRec instructors with one another. So a lot of times the instructors don't know who the CoRec instructor is if they're not similar to like Lisa Darling, who's teaching both. So we're making sure that they know each other so that we can do the collaboration, make sure we meet the student where they are and actually help them. So if they don't know who the CoRec instructor is, how do they have that dialogue? How do they say, well, Jane isn't doing well in my class, or she hasn't been coming to class, and then they're able to actually really assist them. Meeting with them regularly has been really key. They email me, I go into the classrooms, just having that dialogue, communicating. What we found again is that we don't know what the best methods are, but we're trying to find them. We're constantly modifying, tweaking, and just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So by having that dialogue very regularly, we're kind of trying to muddle our way through that. And then the gathering the student and the instructor testimonials. This one has been good because this one kind of goes with the one before. So talking to the students, and they're telling us this is what's working and this isn't what's working. They have told us that what's not working is they want more time. They don't feel that they have enough time. 50 minutes is a short amount of time to cover a lot of material. So with that, we know, okay, we need to find ways to support them, to give them more time. Maybe we can put more material in D2L, or maybe at some point we may have, 3 hours versus the 1 and the 2 that we have now. And then again, with the instructors, finding out what's working and what's not working, or possibly what they're doing in their classrooms has been helpful as well. Professional growth and connections. This one is key for me because I have found that I need to know a little bit about everything, which means I need to know a lot of people so that I can help the students. So if I don't know the key people, then if a student comes to me and they're asking me, where's financial aid, or who is the financial aid person, if I don't know that person, then how can I point them in the right direction? So this one is really important. Attending trainings, conferences, webinars. Again, none of us are experts. I'm definitely not, so don't think I'm an expert because I'm up here. But that has been helpful. I went in to meet with our writing lab tutors, so that's a service that's free, and it's offered to the students where they can go and they can get assistance with their papers, meeting with all key staff again, sitting in with book adoptions, so I know the books that they're using when they come in to have conversations with me, maybe about their books. And then I am in the classroom as well, so I'm teaching 0119, so that gives me the perspective from the instructor side, but then also from the advisor side. So if a student feels more comfortable coming coming in and talking to me, then their instructor, not that we're suggesting that, but if they do, then they can, and I know the material that they're covering, and then I can help them with that as well. And the future is exciting. We're very excited about the future of co-rec. I personally think that if we're utilizing the co-rec, not us necessarily, but if our students are utilizing the resources the way that they should, or in the way that they should, then it can be successful. So some of the things that we're planning for Kingwood is we're creating flyers, video and handouts for the fall when we go in to the classrooms to give to the students the video that they can actually see so that they can put a face with a name. So I need them to know who I am, I need them to know where to find me, because if there is, again, an issue, or not even just an issue, they just want to talk to me, I need them to know how to do that. That goes with the introductory video. We're working on a 3E's program, which is what we're kind of terming as early and continuous alert. So we want to start at the beginning, but then we want to continue it throughout the entire semester. We don't want to just meet them at the beginning or at midterms when they're failing. I want them to know that we're there to hold their hand through the process. I'm going to be the bridge that connects them with the resources to make sure that they're successful. Partnering with the library and the writing lab to conduct success workshops. And one of the other breakout workshops that I went to earlier, they were talking about soft skills being an issue. Well, it definitely is. I know you all have noticed that our students don't have soft skills. They don't know how to manage their time. They don't know, maybe they don't know how to ask for help. They don't know how to read directions. They don't know how to navigate online. Well, if they don't know how to do those things, then how can we expect them to be successful in class? We can't. So the way that we're planning to target some of that is by having success workshops to provide them with those tools so that when they go into class, not just English, but math, history, and all of their other classes, and hopefully that'll be support that they can use from those interactions. Updating the Lone Star's websites to include co-rec information. We think that it's important for our incoming freshmen to be able to log onto the Lone Star's website, to go to our page and to see the co-rec information so they can see Dalvin's face and Lisa's face and my face, and again, know who we are so that if they need to contact us, they can. So this is a little bit about what we're doing at Kingwood, what we've done, what we're planning to do. But now I want to open the floor so that you guys can share with us some of your best practices, because again, this is a collaborative effort, and take some of that back to our campus. Does anyone want to share with us?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
You guys mentioned seminars. What are some of the topics of your seminars? Seminars we focus on.
The seminars, we have grammar, inferences, we did M&A before, we have fragments, or grammar sentence fragments. Each week is one topic. And we have 16 sessions, basically, we offer every week, and they are at different times. Again, based on what the students told us, we are available more during this time than that. We have, trying to remember all the topics, commas, we do also some on commas. What we did, we noticed from the students writing what they are struggling in the most, and that's how we create our seminars. Now we try to change the topics based on the needs of the students every semester.
And the students really like the seminars. We found that they really like them. They like either going into the classroom or doing them online. We always get really positive feedback because that's something, again, that they've said that they want more information on. So that's kind of how we were able to tailor them. Anyone else? So best practices, everyone, please share, please share. No? It's been a long day. Okay. All right, well, thank you. We have our information up here. If anyone is interested in the PowerPoint, please email us. These are our email addresses. And thank you so much.